Good morning, students. So in this class, we will learn how an 8086 microprocessor is interfaced with memory. So in the previous class, we have learned the basic components of memory, such as what is memory, types of memory, memory pin connections, memory address decoding, and the different decoder circuitry. So before taking an example of interfacing 8086 microprocessor with memory, so let us recapitulate the basics of 8086 microprocessor. So as you know that the 8086 microprocessor is a 16-bit microprocessor. So the 8086 data bus is 16-bit wide. So it has a 16-bit data bus so that it can operate on either 8-bit data or the 16-bit data. So the 8086 must be able to write data to any 16-bit location or any 8-bit location. So this presents us with a unique set of problem. So because 8086 microprocessor addresses 1 megabyte of memory. So the 1 megabyte of memory address range from 50H to 5FH. So at each location, we can store an 8-bit data. So how do you store a 16-bit data? Okay. So 2 consecutive memory locations are required to store a 16-bit data. Okay. So this presents us with a problem. Okay. How do you store a 8-bit data or 16-bit data? Okay. In the memory map of the microprocessor. So this means that the 16-bit data bus must be divided into 2 separate sections or banks that are 8 bits wide, so that the microprocessor can write to either half or both halves. Okay. So all 8086 microprocessor memory is divided into 2 banks. So which are those banks? One bank, that is low bank, holds all the even numbered memory locations, and the other bank, so that is called as high bank, holds all the odd numbered memory locations. So if you refer the diagram now, so 1 megabyte of memory is divided into 2 8-bit memory banks. Okay, each is of 512 kilobytes in size. Okay, see here, low bank is nothing but the even bank. Okay, so holds all the even numbered memory locations. See, memory starts from 50 and memory ends at 5F. So holds even numbered memory locations. See, start from 0. The next address is 2. Next address is 4. So all are even numbered in the even bank. Okay, and other bank, high bank, holds all the odd numbered memory locations. So this is high bank. Okay, or odd bank. So holds all the odd numbered memory locations. Say 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. Okay, so so in each bank you can store an 8-bit data. Okay, so how the 16-bit data is stored? In the 2 memory banks. 16-bit data is stored in 2 memory banks. Okay, so low byte is stored in the even bank at even address, and the high byte will be stored in the high bank at an add address. Okay, so that is how an 8-bit or 16-bit data is stored in the these memory banks. So next, the question is, so how these banks are selected by the microprocessor? So the 8086 use a signal, high bank signal, that is called as BHE bar, bus high enable. So that signal is called as bus high enable signal. And the A0 address bit, or it is also called as bus low enable BLE bar, to select one or both of the banks of the memory used for the data transfer. Okay, so these two signals are used to select one or both banks of memory for the data transfer. This table depicts the logic levels on these two pins and the bank or bank selected. Okay, so when the logic levels on these two pins are 0, 0, both banks enabled for 16-bit data transfer. Okay, and when the logic levels of these two pins are 0, 1, then which bank is selected? Okay, so high bank enabled for an 8-bit transfer. So when 1, 0, so BHE bar is BLE bar is active low, so low bank enabled for an 8-bit transfer. Okay, and 1, 1, no bank enabled. Okay, so when both are at logic 0, both banks enabled for 16-bit data transfer. Okay, so when BHE bar is at active low, so high bank is enabled. So when BLE bar is active low, so low bank is enabled for 8-bit transfer. Okay, and the bank selection is accomplished by using a separate decoder for each bank. Address decoding methods. So you already know what is memory address decoding. So address decoding refers to the way the 8086 microprocessor decode address on the address bus to select a memory location in one or more memory devices. Okay, simply address decoding is assigning an address to each memory location in the memory. So there are two techniques of address decoding. So first one is the full address decoding. Second one is partial address decoding. Okay. So what is full address decoding? So in full address decoding, all the address lines are used to specify a memory location. All the address lines in this sense, the address lines, 20-bit address lines from A0 to A19, okay, of the microprocessor are used to specify a memory locations. Each memory location is identified by a unique address. So in full addressing, all address lines are used to specify or decode a memory address. So what is partial address decoding? So here only few address lines are needed to point to the physical memory locations. Okay, so not all the address space is implemented. Only a subset of the address lines are needed to point to the physical memory locations. Okay, so only few address lines are used to decode the memory address. Okay, are used to select the memory device, and each physical memory location is identified by several possible addresses. So using all combination of the address lines that were not used. So only few address lines are used to decode the memory address, and the remaining address lines are unused in this partial address decoding. The next step, so before taking an example of interfacing a memory with 8086, so you should know the steps of interfacing memory with 8086. So the general procedure of memory interfacing with 8086 is briefly described as follows. So there are 4 major steps. So first step, arrange the available memory chips so as to obtain 16-bit data bus width. Okay, so first you need to know how many chips are required to interface with 8086. Okay, so once you know the memory chips, you have to arrange the memory chips so that to obtain 16-bit data bus width. Okay, so the upper 8-bit bank is called odd address memory bank, and the lower 8-bit bank is called even address memory bank. So you have to arrange the memory devices into even address bank and the odd address bank. So step 2, connect available memory address lines of memory chips with those of the microprocessor, and also connect the memory read bar and memory write bar inputs to the corresponding processor control signals. Okay, so the address inputs of memory device are connected to the address lines of the 8086. Okay, and the memory read bar and memory write bar inputs of the memory device are connected to the corresponding processor control signals. Okay. Step 3, connect the 16-bit data bus of the memory bank with that of the microprocessor. Okay. So the data lines of the memory device are connected to the corresponding data bits of the 8086 microprocessor. So fourth step, the remaining address lines of the microprocessor. Okay. So because there will be a mismatch of the address lines of the memory device and the 8086 microprocessor. So the extra address lines of the microprocessor, then BHE bar, bus I enable, and A0 address bit are used for decoding the required chip select signals for the add and even memory banks. Okay, so these are used for decoding the address, okay, to select the required chip select signals of the memory device. And the CS bar of memory is derived from the output of the decoding circuits. So let's take an example. Interface to 4K x 8 EPROMs, erasable programmable read-only memories, and two 4K x 8 random access memory RAM chips with 8086 microprocessor, and draw the suitable circuit showing their interfacing along with their memory map. So follow the steps. Okay. Step 1, how many chips are required to interface with the 8086 microprocessor? So calculate the number of memory devices required. So number of memory devices required is 4 chips. Okay. So 2 EPROMs and 2 RAM. Okay. So totally 4 chips are required. Okay. Second step, arrange the given memory chips as even and odd memory bank so as to obtain the 16-bit data bus width. So total RAM memory is 2 ICs. Okay. There are 2 EPROMs. So there are 2 IC chips, each 4K x 8. Okay. So divide them into even bank and odd bank. So one IC of RAM for even bank and one IC of RAM for odd bank. Similarly, the RAM. So total RAM memory is 2 ICs required, each of 4K x 8, and choose one IC of RAM for even bank and one IC of RAM for odd bank. So one RAM and one RAM in the odd bank, and one RAM and one RAM in the even bank. So we have to arrange the memory chips to obtain the 16-bit data bus. Okay. Step 3, determine the address lines of each using the formula. So now we have to find out the address lines of each of these memory devices, ROM and RAM. Okay. So what is the formula? 2 to the power of n equals memory capacity. So where n is the address lines. Okay. Take log on both the sides. Okay. So then you will get the n number of address lines. Okay. So number of address lines required for 8K bytes of RAM. So how it is 8K? So because there are two 4K x 8 ROMs. So 2 means 2 4K. Okay. 4K plus 4K. So it is 8K. So 8K bytes of ROM. So represent in this formula. So this 8K bytes. Okay. So this is 2 to the power of 13 is equal to 8K. That is how. So 1K is 2 to the power of 10 bytes, and this 8 is 2 to the power of 3. So 10 plus 3 is 13, 2 to the power of 13. Okay. So n is 13. Okay. So 13 address lines. Okay. So there are 13 address lines in this ROM then. Then similarly calculate the address lines required for RAM. Number of address lines required for 8K bytes of RAM. Again 8K bytes because there are two RAM of 4K cross 8. So 4K plus 4K. Okay, 8K bytes of RAM again. So calculate the address lines 2 power 13 again. So 13 address lines. Okay. So address lines of both the ROM and RAM is 13. Then step 4, write the memory map. So memory map include the RAM and RAM addresses. Okay. So this is how the address lines or address pins of the microprocessor are labeled. So it has a 20-bit address bus now. So A0 to A19. Okay. So in this address lines A1 to A12 form the address inputs of the memory chips. Okay. So because we have 13 address lines for RAM and RAM now. Okay. So 13 address lines of the memory device are labeled from A0 to A12 actually. Okay. And so in this, so address lines A1 to A12 are connected to the address inputs of the memory device. Okay. So which is labeled as A0 to A11 actually. Okay. So then this A0 address bit, so as you know that this is used to select even or odd bank. Okay. So A0 address bit is specially used to select even or odd bank. Okay. Then the remaining address pins, extra pins, we will call it as. That means we have A0 to A12, the 13 address lines. Okay, 20 minus 13 is 7 address lines. So 7 extra address pins. Okay. So these address lines are used to so these extra pins are decoded using the decoder. Okay, to select the memory devices. So in this extra pin, address pin, so A13 is used as decoder select input. So this will selects either ROM or RAM. Okay. Then the remaining address pins A14 to A19. Okay, we'll send it to decoder enable input. Okay. So they are constants. Okay. A14 to A19 are constants. Constant part of the address pins. So this is select A13 is select part input part of the address lines. Okay. And A1 to A12 are to RAM or RAM IC chip. Okay. And A0 address bit select even or odd bank. Okay. So then you have to determine the address range of both ROM and RAM. Okay. So if you remember the memory structure of the 806 microprocessor, no? So in the memory structure, okay, RAM occupy the first area, and then next RAM will occupy the memory space. So RAM first and then ROM. So first we'll write the starting address and ending address of the RAM. So The starting address starts from 0. Okay, fill all the bits from A0 to A12 zeros. Okay, and the A13 bits it is used to select either ROM or RAM. So if it is 0, selects RAM. If it is 1, selects the RAM. And the remaining address pins A14 to A19 is written as 1, all ones. Okay, because they are constant. So they are used to as input to decoder enable inputs. Then what is the starting address range in hexadecimal? It is FC00H. So group 4 bits starting from the most significant bit. So 111 it is F. 1100 it is C. Then 000 0 single 0 0000 0000. So starting address of the RAM is FC00H. Then what is the ending address? So in ending address you fill all ones for these pins. So A0 to A12, so 1111, and A13 again 0 because it is RAM memory. Then all remaining address lines 111 because they are constant. Then the end address in hexadecimal is FD FFH. So 111 is F, 1101 is D, so 111 is F. So this 1111 is F, 1111 is F. Okay, FD FFF H. Okay, so this is the starting address and ending address of the RAM. Okay, 8K cross 8 RAM. Okay, similarly calculate the starting address and ending address of the ROM. Okay, so ROM you can immediately place after this RAM. Okay, if you add to the ending address +1, no, you will get the starting address of the ROM. Instead of that, so again, to know the starting address of ROM, you fill all zeros from A0 to A12. See, A13 to select ROM, and the remaining bits from A14 to A19 all are ones. And this is the address in hexadecimal FE00H. Then what is the ending address of this ROM? So fill all the address bits from A0 to A12 with ones. Then A13 1. Then the remaining are ones. Then the ending address is 5FH. Okay, so this starting address and ending address selects EEPROM. Okay, so EEPROM memory device starting address is this and ending address is this. So you have to write this memory map. So we determine the starting and ending address of each of the memory devices. Then the fifth step, so we have to design the decoder circuitry. Okay, so since you have to select 4 memory devices now. Okay, so we'll use a 3 input and 8 output decoder, 3 to 8 decoder. So on whose IC chip number is 74LS138 to select 1 out of 4 chips from each bank. So this is the decoder circuit. So it has 3 select inputs A0, A1, A2, and 3 enable inputs E1 bar, E2 bar, E3 bar, and 8 outputs. Okay. So one of the 8 output is low at a time. Okay, so only one of the 8 output pins are low at any time. Okay, so for the output to become low, so these enable inputs, so E1 bar, E2 bar, E3 must be active. Okay, so to be active, you must make E1 bar as logic 0, and E2 bar at logic 0 and E3 at logic 1. Okay. So address lines A13 to A19 are used for decoding to generate the chip select, okay, to enable the memory device. The BHE bar signal selects the high band connected to A0 select input of the decoder. See this BHE signal selects the high band connected to A0 select input of the decoders here. BHE bar is connected to select input A0 of the decoder. The BLE bus low enable or A0 address bit selects the low bank connected to A1 select input decoder. A0 address bit of the microprocessor is connected to A1 address input of the decoder. And A13 address pin connected to A2 select input decoder. Okay, so here address bit A13 is connected to A2 select input of the decoder. Okay. So these address inputs A0, A1, A2 or BHE bar A0, A13 select which output pin should go low. Okay, so when A0, A1, A2 is 0, 0, 0, okay, the first output pin will go low. Okay, so 0, 0, 1, the second output will go low. So like that. Okay, so these address input select which output pin should go low or at logic 0. And see address pins A14 to A19. So A14 to A19 are connected to enable inputs of the decoder. Okay, see A14 to A19 are connected to enable inputs, okay, of the decoder. How? Through a NAND gate. Okay, because you have to make E1 bar and E2 bar at logic 0. Okay, so connect the address pins A14 to A19 to NAND gate input. So A14 to A19 are all ones. Okay, so then what is the output of NAND gate when A14 to A19 are ones? So obviously 0. Okay, so then E1 bar is at logic 0. Then similarly output of NAND gate is connected to E2 bar also. Then E2 bar is at logic 0. Then the same output is connected to an inverter to get to make E3 at logic 1. Okay, so input of this inverter is 0. Okay, and what is the output? 1. Okay, then E3 is put at logic 1. Okay, so E1 bar is at logic 0, E2 bar is at logic 0, and E3 is at 1, logic 1. So in order to select any one of the output, so these enable inputs must be active. So how the memory chip selection happens? So when the address inputs of the decoder A0, A1, A2, so which are literally BHE bar signal A0, A13. Okay, so when all are 0, E1 and R address in RAM. Okay, that is a RAM in E1 bank is selected and a RAM in R bank is selected. Okay, and at that time word transfer happens on D0 to D15. Okay, on the data bus D0 to D15. So when they are at 0, 0, 1, so only E1 address in RAM is selected. Okay. Then a byte transfer happens on D0 to D7 data bus. So 0, 1, 0, only add address in RAM is selected. Then byte transfer on D8 to D15. Then 100 even and add addresses in RAM is selected. So word transfer happens on D0 to D15 again. So 101 only even address in RAM. So then byte transfer on D0 to D7 happens. So 110 so only add address in RAM is selected, and byte transfer happens on D8 to so D15. Okay. So next step is draw the interfacing diagram for the memory system. So while drawing, be sure to connect address bus, data bus, and control bus to the corresponding pins of the memory devices. So first write the decoder, connect BHE bar to A0, select input, A0 address bit to A1, select input, A13 to A2, select input. Okay. So because so these address select inputs. Okay. Select which output pin should go low. So when they are 000, so this first zeroth numbered output pin will be low. When they are 001, so second output is low, that is 1, output pin 1, so and so on. Okay. And then the address pins A14 to A19, which are logic ones, are connected to NAND gate. Okay. So and their output of this NAND gate is in turn connected to enable inputs. Okay. Then arrange the memory chips to obtain the 16-bit data bus width. Okay. Arrange them into odd memory bank and even memory bank. Okay. So one RAM is odd bank and another RAM is odd bank. Similarly, one RAM has even bank and another RAM has even bank. See the pin connections of RAM and RAM. So it has a chip select signal. Okay, it will select this memory device. So output of the decoder select is connected to one of these chip select signal. Okay, to select either even or odd banks. Okay, and see address lines of this RAM A0 to A11. Okay, so there are 13 address lines. Okay, but when labeled, so it is labeled as 1 less than the total number of pins. Okay, so A0 to A12 actually. So 1 less than the address pin. Okay, A0 to A11, and it has OE bar, output enable bar. So it is similar to the read bar. Okay, because RAM is used to perform only read operation. No. Okay. So this is about RAM pin connections. And what about the RAM pin connections? Again, it has address connections, address pins. Again, 13 address pins. No. Okay, so they are numbered from A0 to A11. And RAM can perform both read and write operation. It has read signal and WR signal. Okay. Now this is odd bank and this is even bank. Okay. So at even bank holds even numbered memory locations, and odd bank holds all odd numbered memory locations. Then, so connect the address pins A1 to A12 of the 8086 microprocessor to these address pins of RAM and these address pins of RAM. Okay, A1 to A12 is connected to A0 to A11, and A1 to A12 is connected to A0 to A11 of this RAM. here we are now included A0 address bit because A0 address bit is directly connected to A1. Okay, select input. So remaining A1 to A12 is connected to the address inputs of RAM, both the RAMs. And similarly here, the address lines A1 to A12 of 8086 microprocessor are connected to the address inputs of RAM chips. Okay, A0 to A11, A0 to A11. So then connect the data bus also to the memory devices. So for a byte transfer, D0 to D7 is connected to RAM. So for a byte transfer on even bank, D0 D7 is connected to RAM, and for a byte transfer on odd bank, D8 to D15 is connected to data pins of the RAM memory. Similarly, D0 to D7 of the microprocessor data bus pins D0 to D7 are connected to the data pins of this RAM. So for a byte transfer, similarly for a byte transfer in the add bank, the data bus pins D8 to D15 are connected to data pins of this RAM. Then memory read signal is connected to the memory read signal of the memory devices. Similarly, memory read and memory write of microprocessor are connected to read and write signals of the RAM chips. Now, so if you refer the memory selection table, okay, if the select input A0, A1, A2 0, 0, 0, then so then the 0, 0, 0, then the first output pin becomes low. So this output pin number is 0. So this is connected to, that will enable the only the addresses in odd and even bank. Okay, so connect this output pin 0 through a NAND gate to this third RAM chip. Okay, CS bar 3 chip select signal. So then this RAM is selected for holding the odd numbered memory locations, and the same output pin you connect to the NAND gate. Output of NAND gate is connected to this RAM chip to select this RAM. Okay, so then a word transfer, and this is at 0 and this is at 0. Okay, so it will select both these RAMs. Okay, then a word transfer happens on D0 to D15. Okay, so low byte on D0 to D7 and high byte D8 to D15. Then when the select input A0 to A2 are 0, 0, 1. Okay, then the second output pin will be low, and this output pin 1 is connected to where? Then only even addresses in RAM is selected. Okay, this fourth RAM is selected. Okay. Okay, see here 1, and that is connected to output of this NAND gate is connected. Sorry, AND gate is connected to chip select signal. Okay, so this RAM chip is selected. Okay, so then byte transfer happens in this even bank. Okay, and then 0 1 0. Okay, so then the second output pin becomes low, that is 2. So then only odd addresses in the RAM is selected. This RAM chip is selected. See, 2 is given to NAND gate, and output of this is connected to chip select signal. So this RAM chip is selected, and a byte transfer happens on D8 to D15. Okay. So similarly, these two RAM chips are selected like that. Okay. So 0 1 1. Okay. So then which is selected? Output pin 3 is selected. So this pin will go low, and this is connected to AND gate to select this odd bank RAM, and it is also given to AND gate to select the even bank RAM also. Okay. So then both addresses in even and odd and even bank are selected. Okay. So then a word transfer happens from the data bus pins D0 to D15. Okay. So low byte transfer happens on D0 to D7, high byte transfer happens on D8 to D15. Then 1 0 0, then this will select the output pin 4. See here, the output pin 4. Okay. Then which memory selected? RAM chip at E1 bank is selected. So only E1 addresses in RAM is selected. Okay. Only this chip is selected. Output of this is connected to chip select. Then this chip select is this RAM chip is selected. Okay, where a byte transfer happens on D0 to D7. Okay. Then 1 0 1. Then this output pin number 5 is low. Then this is connected to AND gate input of this RAM chip. So then this RAM chip is selected. Okay. So output of this AND gate is connected to chip select. Okay. This okay. This will select the R addresses in RAM. Okay. Where a byte transfer happens on D8 to D15. So that's all in this class. Hope all of you have understood this. Thanks for watching and listening.